Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. I have a tale to tell that will chill you to your very core. In the tapestry of every family there are threads of darkness, but some weave a pattern so sinister it defies comprehension. Meet Nannie Doss, a grandmother in her 50s, with a smile that could light up a room and a laugh that echoed through the halls of her modest Tulsa home. To her neighbours, Nannie was the very picture of Southern charm, always ready with a kind word and a plate of her famous sugar cookies.
Oh, you simply must try one, dear. They're to die for.
Little did they know how chillingly literal that invitation would prove to be. You see, behind that warm grandmotherly facade lurked a killer. A killer with a body count that would make even the most hardened detective's blood run cold. 4 husbands, 2 children, her own mother, 2 sisters and a grandson. All fell victim to Nannie's lethal touch. But how, you might ask, could such a sweet-looking woman commit such heinous acts? And more importantly, how did she get away with it for so long? Now, let me take you back to where it all began. Nannie Doss, born Nancy Hazel, came into this world in 1905, Blue Diamond, Alabama, a place where dreams went to die and childhood ended far too soon. You see, Nannie's father, James, had a rather unique approach to parenting, and by unique I mean abusive.
Nancy, get over here, girl.
It was under his oppressive thumb that our young Nannie first tasted the bitterness of life, and perhaps it was here that the seeds of her future crimes were first sown. At 16, she fled into the arms of her first husband, Charlie Braggs. Ah, young love, so full of promise, and in Nannie's case so very, very deadly. 4 husbands followed Charlie, each one succumbing to a mysterious illness, each one leaving Nannie a grieving widow. How terribly unfortunate. But it wasn't just husbands who met their untimely end at Nannie's hands. Oh no, her lethal touch extended to her own flesh and blood. Her own mother, 2 sisters, even her grandson, all fell victim to her, shall we say, unique brand of Southern hospitality. Nannie had a particular fondness for poison, arsenic in the coffee, rat poison in the stew. She had quite the recipe book, our Nannie. One might say she put the fatal in Fatal Attraction. But it was her 5th and final husband, Samuel Doss, who would prove to be Nannie's undoing. Though he didn't know it yet, poor Samuel was about to marry his own executioner. As they waltzed at their wedding, Nannie must have been positively giddy. Another fly had wandered into her web. And this time she would go for the kill. For 2 months, Nannie played the role of devoted wife, cooking, cleaning, tending to Samuel's every need. Little did Samuel know each loving gesture was laced with death. Talk about grounds for divorce. But Nannie, you see, she'd gotten a bit overzealous this time. The arsenic sang through Samuel's veins like a demonic chorus. You see, Samuel had survived her first attempt. And now the vultures were circling. The boys in blue came knocking, and Nannie, well, she did what she did best. But beneath that sugary exterior, cracks were beginning to show. Her hands, once so steady in their lethal work, now trembled like leaves in a storm. The questions came, relentless as the tide, and Nannie, our dear sweet Nannie, began to crumble. Like a house of cards built on a foundation of arsenic and lies, Nannie Doss's carefully constructed world came tumbling down. And then, in a moment that would shock the nation, Nannie began to talk, and talk, and talk. With a calmness that chilled the blood, she confessed to it all. Every murder, every poisoned cup of coffee, every lethal dose of love. And as Nannie's own words filled the air, a chill ran down the spine of every person who heard them. For in that soft, grandmotherly voice lay the confession of a monster. Ladies and gentlemen, the curtain was finally falling on Nannie Doss's macabre performance. The media, oh how they feasted on this tale of domestic horror. Giggling Granny, they called her, a moniker that would send shivers down spines for generations to come. And there she was, shuffling into court with a smile that could curdle milk. Our sweet-faced killer, now the star of her own twisted show.
I was searching for the perfect mate. Guess I'm just unlucky in love.
The gavel fell, and with it the final curtain on Nannie's reign of terror. Their absence left a void a gaping wound in the fabric of countless families and an entire community. A stark reminder that evil can wear the mask of love. And so, dear viewers, we come full circle. That sweet grandmotherly face, those twinkling eyes, now forever etched in history as the visage of a killer. This has been the tale of Nannie Doss, the Giggling Granny, a story that will haunt the annals of true crime for generations to come. Sleep tight and maybe skip the midnight snack.